Good morning, folks. Another day, another trip out with the old Slurry tanker. Things got very busy very quick last night. Contractors turned up mob-handed with ploughs, dung spreaders, power harrows, maize drills. Started drilling maize. Basically did 3 out of the 4 fields we had ready, so there's 1 left to do today. I just managed to get myself home through all the nightmare roadworks and traffic that there is in the village that I live in at the moment. And the neighbouring farmer, as to where our maize ground is, said, "You want to be up here with your drone? There's tractors everywhere." There was no way I was battling my way back through the traffic after I got home. Although I should have done. I absolutely should have done. So hopefully we will see a little bit of maize drilling today. Anyway, today Slurry is going on to our grass seeds. Cows have had 2 evening feeds up here. They'll have a 3rd. We can back fence them so I can spread on what they've already eaten. And yeah, it's very nice. I'll get out at some point and show you. They've not hammered it, but that's not a bad thing because I don't want them to hammer grass seeds. But yes, here's the grass seeds, looking splendid. Got 1 more feed up there, so that fence will just come this side of that drinking trough. So I'm leaving a gap as a bit of a runway to the gate behind me. And then tomorrow, once they've eaten that off, I suspect Rob will spread the rest of that, fill in this bit as well. My day off tomorrow, so I won't be here. Right, we're about that pressure there now. We've got a couple of obstacles here we're going to have to dish our way around. I'll get past that one alright, and I've got to slalom through, I think. I'll see I'll get past that one alright. There is a bit of a break back on the end of the tanker. It doesn't mean you can just crash into it with all your might. Oh, that is expert driving. So we can do the same here. Oh, it's like I've done this before. That might have been too good. No more overlap. Damn it! Should never celebrate too early. Anyway, hoping that we're going to get a bit of rain at the weekend, and that will get this grass motoring again. I suspect these grass seeds will motor anyway because they're obviously young and vigorous. A Snapchat from Harry Cornock, the funky farmer's son. Right, we'll catch up in a bit. Let's have a look at this grass then. See, they've not hammered it at all. There's some stuff like this, which they obviously didn't want to eat. What is that? Somebody tell me. Is that chickweed? That's part of the drilled crop or not? Well, chickweed wouldn't be. But you can see here we've got our grasses, we've got our herbs, and they have eaten it. We did fill them up with a bit of silage before they come up here, because we don't want them to absolutely hammer this and rip it out of the ground. The bit sort of, there's a line about there, and that triangle up there, they've eaten a bit better. This would have been the heaviest part of the field. Typically this is where they camp as well, so been a fair bit of dung here when it was ploughed over, and it's obviously come back very strong. There's the slurry we're putting on, going up through. Probably got 3 or 4 more loads to stick in the gap here. We won't go too tight to their fence for tonight. And I thought I'd better show you, because I never did in the last video. These are our new tyres, lovely new rubber. Still got the writing on them at the moment. So they are Bridgestones. It says here VX-Tractor 650 65 R42s. We only got the back set, the fronts are all right. And we only really got the back ones because one was giving us such jip. There was tread left on the old ones, not masses, but some. But that rear left tyre was just going flat every week. It was used to fix it, it failed again, so bite the bullet, new tyres. It does mean we have one, albeit a very different level of tyre from what these are now, but we do have one emergency tyre now. I've spread pretty well what I can in that field for the moment. Rob will finish it tomorrow. I'm just going to set the yard up ready for milking after dinner. I'm hoping to go and catch Woody on the maize drill between now and milking. There's the old Elegide e-bike. Used that to get the cows in this morning, that's why it looks like that. Rob actually rode the other one back to his house here, right? It's still there. Right, update on the back latch. Worked perfectly yesterday. And by that I mean it released itself, but unfortunately all the cows were way at the top of that hill, and the back latch was down the bottom, and they were happy enough at the top, so we had to go and find them. But this worked pretty well. We had a few cows that were desperate to go in the door that way, as they always have done, but the majority went through there and in the back of the parlour absolutely fine. So what I thought I'd do tonight is just set a reel from here across to that post, or across to that fence even, because we've got to be able to shut that gate. and that will just guide them in this door a bit better, I think. So let's do that. Right, so there's a piece of wire across there now, and then I'll hook this orange handle onto it somewhere in there, somewhere where it will stay attached anyway. So I've looped the wire around the frame of the reader there, so if that's hooked on the frame, that'll make all that live. Then we grab our other handle up here, and grab this handle. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Right, I'm doing some fixing. Just pull this wire down tight. Right, I've got a piece of wire now to bridge the gap because we were a little bit short there. We didn't cut the piece of insulated cable, that is whatever Rob had somewhere, so it was just about long enough, but I was a bit keen pulling it. That's how to ruin your pocket knife, cutting wire with it. Right, that's better. So we've got a wire up there, which you probably can't see, and that is now attached to there. So that fence is live, and that just connects that over the top of the shed down to that one. So that's now live as well. So the cows are going to be at that gate hopefully for about 2:25 I nearly set it up for the cows this morning to come in on sort of a one-way system, but yesterday was the first time they'd ever seen the back latch and they didn't really see it, so I thought best to perhaps train them in the afternoons for a bit whilst we're still feeding out there. Hopefully next week the wagon will be turned off and then we can really start our back latch campaign properly. How about this for timing, sports fans? There is the maize drill. Earliest you've ever drilled maize? Yeah. New norm. We left you enough seed?
Yeah, I think there should be, I was going to put a bucket in each hopper.
You got a bit left on that?
Yeah. What's Rob, packing for his holiday?
He's actually starting milking this afternoon, so I can come up and see this.
Oh, right.
Very good of him. Woody's just got an issue with that end row unit. Just sorting that out a minute. And then high-speed maize drilling is on. That wet spot down there will be interesting. Across the road we go. Right, maize drilling. We have a drone. I sat in the cab with Woody, who's down there for the headlands. Saw how that all works. He's absolutely motoring in a straight line. The headlands take a bit of time, stop, start, stop, start. I thought before we lose the chance, we'll put the drone in the air and see how that goes. But try and stay out of his way. Would you believe it is the 9th of April with the amount of dust that's flying? It is silly. Right, we'll fly the drone and then I'll try and get close to him with the camera. Right, drone flight successful. I think Steve's on the last pass down there. Perhaps we have to come back up the other way once. And then I think he started somewhere on the corner of that fence line. So he'll be working back this way. So we'll go and get up a bit closer to him when he's over this side. It's absolutely rapid, that drill. I couldn't keep up on the drone in like what they call cinema mode or cine mode, which is like the nice, slow, really easy to fly setting. So if the drone footage is a bit wishy-washy, it's because I had to fly it in a bit quicker setting than I'm used to. Whilst we're waiting for him, should we try and find a seed? I've got to find a row first. I'm sure this is a row here. They should be 1 inch to 1.5 inches down, but I might not be on a row. I might be all over the shop. Considering how warm it is and how baked this looks on top, there is moisture in there. There's a bit of fertiliser, look. This is fertiliser going down underneath it, so it'll get a really good start. I can't find a seed, but I'm going to assume there are some in the ground. So he's only got a tiny little square here, because a lot of it's taken up by the headland. See, that's the end of the headland there, so that comes all the way out from that hedge to there. 5 laps. Now it looks black, but it is a very dark green fence. 724. He's off in a flash. Right, so this is a row. So there must be a seed somewhere. Come on, Woody, don't let me down. I don't want to miss the chance of filming this thing. He's obviously running out of seed because he had to put some back in, so hopefully it's going in the ground. He's drilled enough maize. I've decided he's competent. On the wrong side for the dust, really. Now I know nothing about maize drills, but it should be incredibly straightforward. I think there's a big opening disc, or a big disc that cuts a slot, and then another wheel with like a metering wheel on it, so the seed gets dropped down and they're spaced out however far apart, and then a couple little closing wheels, and then that's what there is to it. What's we got left here? 3 runs? 3 runs if that. Let's stand the other side from the dust. Now this is the field that I said over there. I wouldn't believe that they plough all that grass in under, but done a hell of a job. He's got some wheel eradicators as well, right behind his wheels. Although his footprint is huge, so I don't know if it's doing any damage. So this was only ploughed yesterday, and then 1 pass with a power harrow, and it's just like beautiful. I mean, look, you just scratch the top off and that is moisture. That is going to be such a good start for that maize. A couple dry days now and then some rain at the weekend. Perfect. I'm guessing this is his last pass. Fully section controlled up on there, so I guess it will only meter out seed in the rows it knows it needs to. Look at the dust flying. And that is her done. That is all she wrote. Job's a good one. I should probably grab my drone. Don't want to leave that on the side of the road. Now apparently we are the first to go, other than some of the stuff they're drilling for themselves. So we'll be the guinea pig. 8th and 9th of April maize drilled. We'll keep an eye on it. Just chucking out the last little bit of fertiliser. Now you can have a look at this, look, now it's in the air. That's where the seed comes out, look. Very fancy. Right, we got 1 bag of fertiliser left here. Oh, that belongs to Steve. You want that? That's something to do with this drill. I think it's like a collapsible bucket. You won't want to be without it. Right, 3:30, not too bad. Big shout out to Rob for milking for me this afternoon. Oh, those are my glasses as well. I'll leave the handler up here, put the forks on the ground, so if anyone decides to come and trespass, they don't shin themselves. Yeah, Rob very kindly decided to milk for me this afternoon, so I could come and get some footage of Woody drilling. He can be nice. Right, glasses, truck. I'll go back to the farm and either find Rich or Rob and we'll come up and pick this up now, because we don't want to leave that there really. I chuck them in there. So yeah, Woody works for Yendall's, so they're off to drill some of their own maize now, which we will probably end up buying back off them. Right, I suppose I better actually go and do some work. Can we just talk about this grass though? This was grazed. What day is it today? Wednesday. I think it finished grazing on Sunday, and it is already like that tall. You can't really see from here, but motoring. It's had a bit of slurry. We will of course be going on to our second round of grazing very soon, so the quality should be better, as it's like fresh regrowth, it's not overwintered stuff. Actually, just this afternoon, Rob has decided to cut the cake back a bit, so we're now down to 4 kilos in the parlour instead of 5. And with the ever reducing amount of silage they're getting in the trough, that also reduces their concentrate, because there is wheat and rape in the clamp forages. So cutting the concentrates, letting the grass be the real hero. They graze that well in there, look. Didn't want the stingers though. That's where we were slurrying this morning. So you can see they've still got that piece over there to eat. And I've slurried, not right up against it, because Rich needed to pull the fence off it a bit and also go around that drinking trough. So they got space there to get in and out the gateway in the morning and also get to the trough without treading over slurry. I'm going to go find Rich and we'll go and pick up that Manitou. I don't think it comes across on camera probably, but that is so lush and dark green. Again, that is regrowth from probably only 10 days ago, maybe a little bit longer. Had slurry on it, so Rob had the refusal up on the hill there. And it is just absolutely motoring. If we get some rain at the weekend, we are going to be in the money for grass. I knew he was a John Deere man after all. Flat out. Rich is happy mowing, so we'll get the Manitou later.